So here's my latest project. It's a GT RTS-1 frame that I bought new in 1993. This was my mountain bike for most of my time in college. The RTS was cutting-edge technology when it came out, and it was a hell of a lot of fun in the mountains around Missoula, Montana. The frame has a whopping 55 millimeters of travel, and the design uses pedaling forces to lock out the suspension, so it definitely is not an active design. But it climbs and accelerates really well for a suspension bike of this era. It's still too cold to paint in the garage, so I haven't been able to finish my gravel frame project. Hopefully sometime in the next month. In the meantime, the plan is to make a new swing arm for the GT that has more tire clearance and a disc brake mount. One of the first things I needed to do was set the frame up in the jig so I could get the numbers to create a BikeCAD model. I'll be interested to see how well this 30-plus-year-old frame holds up. I've heard these frames can crack down by the rocker, but as far as I can tell, this one's still good to go. It'll be an ATB type build, so I'm not worried about putting too much stress on the frame. I'd like to try building a full suspension frame someday, so I figured this could be some good practice. Once I got the stock BikeCAD model done, I wanted to see how big a tire would fit in the fork. I'm using an old 27.5-inch RockShox Reba, but the wheels are 26-inch. First I tried some 3.0 Surly Nards, but they were too tight. These are 38mm wide Echo Trials rims, laced to DMR hubs. The 2.75-inch Surly Dirt Wizards fit much better, but I needed to trim the little rubber hairs on the sidewalls. With all the wheel and fork specs, I was able to build a new BikeCAD model. It's a bit of an oddball, mostly because I can't change the front triangle geometry. The frame is in decent shape with one exception. The seat tube lost about an inch off the top when crosswinds blew the roof rack off my parents' car, and the top of the bike crashed into the highway pavement. The next step was to rig up a fixture for the pivot points. To do that, I had to set up a support to hold the rear end in place without the front triangle. Now that I have the reference points for the pivots, I'll be able to set the new rear axle location. And that's as far as I made it for this video. Next up, I'll lay out the chainstays, figure out what tubing dropouts to use, and start bending and cutting. If you're enjoying this channel, consider a super thanks. And if you haven't watched my other videos, go check them out. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.